I'm Steve Linde, and we have in the JNS studio today Elana Heideman, the CEO of the Israel Forever Foundation, ahead of the May 14th Declaration Day next week. So Elana, welcome.
Thank you.
And tell us about Declaration Day.
Oh, what a day this has become. We are excited to have created a proactive opportunity to affix May 14th for the historical milestone that it was in 1948. Declaration Day is the day on which the Yishuv, the Jewish leadership in Palestine, it actually declared the declaration legally as a result of the conclusion of the British Mandate. And we celebrate Kaftet November, the 29th of November. And then when we celebrate Yom Ha'atzmaut, it's filled with joy. But we lose the significance of that historical moment. And so we wanted to put this into public awareness increasingly, not only amongst the Jewish world, but the world as a whole, as a global initiative to affirm the same principles and values that were recognized that day when the Jewish state was reborn.
So this is the third time you've done it.
Yeah.
What's the plan this year?
This year, we are having our annual exclusive event in Jerusalem at the esteemed David Citadel Hotel. We are really honored to have been able to welcome so many diplomats over the years, and we look forward to having a number of diplomats who will be addressing and preparing their declarations of affirmation in solidarity with Israel's independence, but again, looking at its historical significance, and not only on the Jewish world, but on all of humanity. We have an online program that will be launched exactly as things began on May 14th, 1948 at 1 p.m. Secret envelopes were hand-delivered to people who were intended to be at this moment of the fulfillment of the miracle. And at 4 p.m. sharp, that's when it began. And so we are echoing that build-up, and we have not only our online programming that includes historical events, but we have a very cool initiative that invites other people to share their declaration. And so we have people submitting already from all over the world a reel that they will be able to have featured on Declaration Day, so that they can stand together with Ben-Gurion and they can make their declaration that we are standing united. This is not left, this is not right, this is straight as a fact in history. This is not hasbara, this is truth. And so we hope that we can conquer the internet, that we can take over Instagram with people putting out reels and videos and shout outs, hashtag Declaration Day. Let's affirm it. Let's make sure that every generation knows about it, because then we will never be able to negate, and they will never be able to negate, the essential value of what took place on that day.
So how do people who are watching us now participate, and how do they partner with you in this?
Well, we welcome partners from everywhere to join us, share with your communities this opportunity. We have resources on our website, declarationdayisrael.com, where you can have activities that include the reading of the Declaration of Independence and a series of discussion questions. So it's something that can be done in a home. It's something that can be done in a school, community group of any kind. That's one way to participate. Another is we have written and designed a really gorgeous exhibition that can be put on display, and we have it also a physical exhibition, but also a digital one, so that people are able to screen it, share it with their communities and networks. The more we spread the information in creative ways, the more we can reach the people who maybe wouldn't show up to an event and are maybe isolated in their lives. I think that we're discounting too often in our community programming and organizational affiliations. We're discounting these families and individuals who really feel lost and maybe even a little are in hiding. So they don't want to do something public. So another way you can do it is you can be involved by hosting something small, by becoming more familiar with the terms of the Declaration of Independence, understanding the values on which Israel was based, and again, then your ability to speak about it in your activism or advocacy, then you're even more grounded in these elemental truths. I think that the social media engagement could be very powerful for people. We've also encouraged some, you can write a song, you can make it a poem, because in 1948, people were anticipating what was going to happen, but nobody knew. And then as the Declaration was being made, already people are sitting around their radios. So what were they doing? How were they learning about it? And what did they do afterwards? Again, on Yom HaAtzmaut, we celebrate. On Declaration Day, we have to reaffirm. And that's really something every single person can do. So join. You can follow us at Israel Forever, and come to declarationdayisrael.com and see all of the different options on how you can get involved. And of course, come to israelforever.org and see the many different resources that we offer to help enrich your life as a Jew or a friend of Israel out there in the world looking for something innovative and engaging to be a part of.
Well, that's really inspiring. 77 years after declaration by Ben-Gurion, we're now 17 months into the longest and toughest war we've ever fought. Yeah. What is your message this year?
I think it's more important than ever that we do not listen to the white noise of lies, and that we do find these functional ways where we can solidify our history, not allow the denial, whether it is anti-Semitism denial, denial of our rights, denial of our humanity. I think that our message this year is to never be ashamed, to stand strong for Israel and with Israel, because the Declaration of our Independence is such an all-encompassing document that it enables us to identify who we are, what we stand for, how our soldiers are taught to fight, how our society continues to thrive. We are a people of life, and the Declaration of Independence does go through the trajectory of our experience and ends with a message of life. So I think we need all of our allies and friends and our members, our community, to feel confident to stand up and do that. And I don't think that today many do. They're very tarnished by, almost, we're at 19 months since October 7th, and the world is in a worse situation than we ever imagined it could be on that horrific day. Mm-hmm. And we thought we could mitigate. We thought that this would not get worse. We see that it is. We need to wake up that it's going to get likely even worse. So the more we're grounded in the truth of Israel, and that includes the Declaration of Independence, it's like saying we need to be grounded in our Torah, and we need to be grounded in our prayers, and we need to understand our history and our kings. So this is a massive burden on the common Jew, and we have to simplify it for them. So my message this year is it's possible. Pick Declaration Day. And we have other days throughout the year that we can emphasize, but this day must be recognized for its historical milestone. And people do not know. I'll tell you, even, some avid Zionists why May 14th? And I'm shocked. But if you go by Yom HaAtzmaut and we celebrate on the 5th of Iyar, then that's the date. But that is not the date in the international chapters of history, and we need to make sure that it is. And I do not like to create something reactively. This is proactive. So that's another message for this year that's unique, is be proactive, because this is not about Nakba Day, which they have set on May 15th. And last year there were 12 events throughout the world celebrating or honoring Nakba Day. Let them have their narrative of lies. And as long as we protect our history of truth, we will take a step forward no matter what comes, no matter what it looks like in the next phase. There will be a next phase. We want people to feel empowered.
Sometimes it seems that we're alone. And Bernard-Henri Lévy even wrote a book saying Israel alone, and that there's more and more support for our enemies, for Hamas, a terrorist organization, even in places like America, among the youth. What do you say to that? Why is their narrative catching on so much and rising anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiments all over the world? Is there a way we can get the world to see the justice of our cause and the truth, as you call it, that we represent?
I think we're doing it. I think we need more of our people to do it. I think we need to empower the relationships we've established and the interfaith connections we've made over the years. But why is it so popular and continuously growing? It's easy. It has always been easy. The Jew has always been the scapegoat, and what we're seeing today is actually nothing new. Just has a new face. We've heard all of the experts talk about it as well. What we're seeing today is something that gives people a cause during a time where societies have become relatively anti-religion, but now the new religion is the Islamic, pro-Palestinian, Gaza-directed. That's the new religion of the day. And it's sexy, it's exciting, it's something that I can put a mask on and I have no accountability. That was always something that and I am very, very wary of drawing direct parallels to previous times in history, but understanding correlations can help us. And one of the things we know about the common individuals who became Einsatzgruppen, the special mobile killing squads in the killing pits during the Holocaust, they were common people. They were not Nazis. They were not even German. They were usually locals. And it became a social dynamic. It became something that you could be a part of. For the good cause that it was, you were going to help eliminate the Jew from the world. It is an exciting, I know that sounds crazy to us, but it is an exciting thing to be a part of because you feel like, and you're convinced that you're going to save humanity. They've turned evil into a way to save humanity. Again, the Nazis did this as well. So they have a playbook that they can go by. They are using it. They're using it in the universities, and that's where the majority of media is paying attention. I'm very, very emphatic about the kindergartens, lower school, especially the workplace. People are being silenced, even inside themselves, because everywhere around them, there's a computer with a Palestinian flag on the desk. So you can't report it like you do at an airline that someone's wearing the pin. You know, not everybody feels calm. As soon as you report it, you're targeted. So the silence that it creates amongst the Jewish population is also another reason why it's exciting for those participating. They've done the job of, so in a politically correct and socially correct way, they've silenced the Jew into complete submission. And I think that unfortunately the different sides of the spectrum are going to unite. The power is going to grow. We have to be aware of that. We have to be more prepared. And I am very, very loud about encouraging organizations to work together to try to overcome those kind of territorial barriers that exist. And we're all after funding to make our programming happen. But the more we work together, then the better off we'll be. That's why I also, with Declaration Day, the goal has always been all the organizations should be partnering on these things. We should be doing things in a united voice so that, yes, we have our differences, but let those differences exist side by side with the things that unite us. And we all stand united behind our independence. And those who don't, well, maybe that's how we see their real face. Maybe they're a little two-sided with those who have become enamored with the anti-Israel stream, the anti-Semitic stream, anti-Jewish Jewishness. Right. We have all these adjectives, right? We have to realize that. Even Herzl wrote in his diary, we all think we're different, but at the end of the day, we are one, because those who hate us will continuously remind us of that.
It reminds me that we actually are talking to each other on Herzl's birthday.
Yes.
And I was also thinking while you were talking that you studied under Elie Wiesel, a very special man, and I'm sure he would be very proud of what you're doing. What do you think he would think and suggest today?
I cannot speak for someone who I do consider a tzaddik in our time, but I believe that of the lessons he transmitted to me and through me, I hope that everything I'm doing does fulfill what he would have been continuously suggesting to everywhere that would listen. Elie Wiesel was an individual who spoke truth to power, and we have to kind of assess, where is that power today? While he was able to address dignitaries and heads of state, the power right now is actually in the middle and lower elements who are so swayed. As you know, as you asked earlier, why are they so swayed by it? They have the power right now. Even with the increased involvement of the police forces around the world, who actually joined us on the March of the Living this year, it was amazing to see them stand up and say, "Not on our watch." Unfortunately, on the ground, the reality is a little bit different. We need people who will take what I call Wieselian philosophy and apply it in your own lives. Do more, do it organically, find ways that we are strengthening ourselves from within, even if we are, and I hate to use the metaphor because we know hostages are being kept in single unit cells and cages and undergoing horrific tortures. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves that our freedom is not free and that we absolutely have no right to be silent. So that's what I think Elie Wiesel would be telling everyone. He impacted whole generations, but the students that I often encounter have never heard his name. Mm-hmm. So I will say that, echoing your earlier question of does Israel stand alone, even if we do, who are we when we stand? And we have to be the type of people who are standing again and again and again, and they will not beat us down, and they will not silence us, and they will not shame us. They try to do it, the Holocaust. Oh, stop mentioning the Holocaust, right? Well, when we let our guard down, on October 7th happens. Mm-hmm. And we have to be more aware. So I can only hope that he is with us. He is with us in everything we do, and that more people will read him and learn from him and other leaders. I also think that's an essential part, that we remind our youth that they should learn from the elders of our people.
Speaking of which, your other mentors are your parents, who obviously still play a very significant role in the Israel Forever Foundation. What role do they play in your life at the moment and in the Declaration Day?
Well, I'm a little girl from Louisville, Kentucky, raised by two parents who met when they were 15 in BBYO and fell so in love and became such best friends that they have not stopped doing, ever, all of the amazing activism that they have been involved in from that young age. Their inspiration pulses through me, and I'm honored to be the CEO of their organization that we started as a family, as a way to respond to the growing needs of the Jewish people, to feel that peoplehood. And it's a sensitive word because that all words have been politicized in some way, but it is about the amiut. It is about our nationhood. It is about recognizing this is a destiny we're living. So my parents are actively involved and invested in keeping that destiny alive. I'm so proud to be able to continue to increase our growth and visibility so that I can share the type of inspiration that they have given me. They, of course, continue as the co-chairs and helped to make Declaration Day possible because they, too, are not shy about admitting who they are and what they stand for, and that they will use that diplomatic talent that I think many leaders like my parents have to create active change, to make influence. We have this term now for social media of influencers, and I think to myself, what would Elie Wiesel be then? Because he was one of the greatest influencers of his time. So have we belittled the word or the concept? I look at my parents. Is it, what influencers? My mother, what she has done with the March of the Living and the relationship we have with the March of the Living. And my father with his work fighting those who are funding terror and the victims of terror, bringing them justice. This is true activism for our people. And they're very humble. So they like to be behind doing their important work, and they empower me to do mine. And so my hope is that as the years continue to pass, more and more people will learn about the value of Israel Forever and our unique, apolitical, non-denominational, we reach what I call the every Jew. Everyone, wherever you are, because we are all connected. So we have this great global community element that started before my Aliyah. I was working with Wiesel, and I felt like I was a citizen of Israel, going through their intifada and so we came up with the idea of the virtual citizen of Israel. Our global community has grown by this point to over 100,000 members. And even I'm proud to say that even in the last week, our Instagram, we have reached over 1 million views on our informational and inspirational reels and materials. So we see that people are looking for a way to belong, even if it is quiet, humble, in their own way. So it's a great way to feel proud of who we are and what we're doing.
As we approach the end of this interview, let's look forward again to May the 14th.
Yes.
And what other highlights can we expect? Are there things that you can tell us now? I know that you're partnering with JNS. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, I have to keep some of my rabbits in my hat, but what's exciting is how many of the ambassadors are going to be joining us on this special evening and delivering their remarks. We're going to be enabling those who are in attendance, these leaders of organizations and grassroots initiatives who are a part of the community, to have direct conversation on the values of the Declaration. So simultaneously, we'll be encouraging others to not only hold this activity at home, but also document it, because the goal is that it's not just one day, but the ripple effect that we can create. I would say that we're looking forward to having many of those important influencers, those social media voices who are joining us in our campaign to amplify beyond the Jewish world, beyond the Israel Forever following. And that's actually very exciting for us, because it means that we're touching a nerve, we're touching somebody's spirit, we're lighting their light to carry it forward. So I really look forward to seeing how the general population takes this as something they too will be a part of. I think that'll also be an exciting display. So
will it be live streamed?
It will be live streamed. It will begin at 7:30 p.m. Israel time. Will the live stream begin? We do have, of course, a wonderful reception. We'll be starting a little bit earlier, so with our broadcast likely, so that we can get you some direct affirmations of pride from some of the ambassadors. So we look forward to sharing that, because these types of presentations, these expressions, these declarations, sometimes they mean nothing. Sometimes they mean nothing. And sometimes we have to hold on to it. And we have to make sure that, like the Balfour Declaration, many years ago, like San Remo, like all of these declarations, we make them matter. Sometimes on social media, we see people say, where's the outrage? You make it. We make the outrage. We have to make the excitement. We have to make the truth matter. And so I think that's going to be an exciting part of the day. And we look forward to seeing everybody there.
Thank you so much. And we look forward to it too. And Elana Heideman, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Let's do all we can, because now matters. Now matters more than ever.